Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make a fully pleated turban cap with V-shaped band and a loop. So these are the materials I'll be using. So this is the scuba fabric. So this is the scuba fabric. As you can see, it's a stretchy fabric. So this is it. So this will be for the base of the turban. So this fabric is the fabric I'll be pleating. So the measurement I have here is 26 inches by 26 inches. So this is the base of the turban, 26 by 26. Why? Because I want a little backdrop effect after pleating. So that's why I took 26 inches. And for the V-shaped band, I have 15 inches by 5 inches in two places. 15 inches by 5 inches. Then this is what I have for the loop. And for the loop, I'll be using 6 inches by 4 inches. 6 inches by 4 inches for the loop. So let's get started. So the next thing we are going to do is to mark out 1.5 inches. As you can see, I've already done that. So you place your tape at the beginning of your fabric, then you mark out 1.5 inches all the way around. You mark out 1.5 inches from the top to the bottom. If you notice, you discover I've already drawn the 1.5 inches on this side. I also did it at the middle and also on the side. So if you feel you cannot sew it this way, you can rule the lines. Take your ruler and just connect the lines. But I'll be sewing mine like this. So after drawing out the 1.5 inches, you pick the one on this side, 1.5. You pick this one, 1.5. And also like this, you place it on your sewing machine. Then you sew quarter of an inch. After that, you pick the next one like this, then you sew. So that's how we are going to sew it all the way down. Then for the band, what I have here is 5 inches. So this is the open part. I will just measure out 2 inches like this, 2 inches. Then I'll shape it. I'll measure out 2 inches and I will just connect it like this to this point. I'll do the same thing for this other one. So I'll place it on this other side like this. So this is how I'll be placing it. Then I'll pin it down. And so the next thing I'll do is to sew. So I'll pin it down like this, then I'll sew it. I'll pin it down like this, then I'll sew this part like this all the way down. I'll sew it like this. Then I can decide to top stitch these two sides together. Sew these parts together and also do the same thing to this side. So I'm done pleating. As you can see, I've pleated the fabric. So this is how it looks like. So the next thing I'll do, I'll take my band. I've also gone ahead to sew the band. So this is how it looks like, as you can see. So this is the band. Then I'll get the middle of the cap. So this is the middle of the turban cap. So let me just indicate it with the pin. So this is the middle. So this is my loop. I've gone ahead to sew it. So I'll turn it inside out. I'll turn the loop inside out. So this is it. I've turned the sewn part is at the middle. So I'll place it like this. So I'll place it like this on the middle of the turban. So this is the middle. So I'll place it like this. Then I'll get my band. I'll also place the band like this at the middle. Ensure that this is the middle of the this is the middle of the band. So this is how it will look like after sewing. So I'll turn it like this. Ensure that this V side is directly where the middle of the turban is, where the middle of the fabric is, this V part. So I'll pin it down. So I've pinned it down. The next thing to do is to sew. I will sew it like this all the way to this point. Then I'll do the same thing for this side. So I'm done attaching the band and the loop. So this is the loop. So I'll cut out this excess. I'll cut out this excess, as you can see. So the next thing I'll be doing, I'll fold it. I'll fold it like this. I'll fold it like this. So the next thing I'll do, I'll fold it this way. Then I'll measure out my head circumference. The head circumference is 22 inches, which is 11. So I'll mark out. So I'll mark out 11 inches from this point. So the next thing I'll do, I'll sew it from this point. I'll sew it like this. Then come out a little on this part. I'll sew it this way. Then like this. Then I'll sew it straight down. Then I'll sew it up to this point. On this part, I'll leave out 1.5 inches. On this part, I'll leave out 1.5 inches here. So on this part, I'll leave out 1.5 inches. So I'll sew from here like this. Sew it to this part, then like this. Then on this part, I'll also get to this point, then I'll leave 1.5 inches so that we can be able to bring out the loop. So I'm done sewing I'm done sewing, as you can see. I've sewn from this point like this all the way down. So I'll trim out this excess. So I've trimmed out this part. So the next thing I'll do, so I'll trim out this part. So I'll take my needle and thread. Then I'll draw my gathers from this point to this point. From here to this point. Like this. So as you can see, I've drawn the gathers on this part. So I'll stitch it down. I'll sew it back to stitch it. I'll quickly do it. I'll sew it back to stitch it down. So I've done with the gathers. So I'll turn it inside out like this. Remember, we left 1.5 inches opening, as you can see. So now I'll take the loop. I'll pass it through this opening that we have here. I'll pass it through this place. I'll drag it, I'll place it like this. So I'll pass it through this opening, as you can see. Then I'll take it to the front. Remember this, the center front here. I'll just move it to this part here like this. Then I'll use my hand needle to stitch it down. You can actually sew it with your sewing machine. If your sewing machine can sew it. But if you cannot, you just use hand needle to tack it down. So I've gone ahead to sew it to the middle point. Remember that you can see that this is our band. This is the V-shape band. So I've gone ahead to sew the loop on it. Then I'll use my weaving machine. To weave all this rough edge, as you can see. So this loose part, I'll weave it. Use my weaving machine to just weave it. So I'll turn it inside out. So this is the loop. So this is the turban, as you can see, very beautiful. So you might see there's an opening here. Then this opening that we have here. So I'll use my needle and thread to just tack it down. I'll use my needle and thread to just sew it close to the loop. So this is the final look of the turban, as you can see. Very beautiful.